1, 2, is this on?
A key aspect of wrestling storytelling is the heel turn. It sets the tone for the next phase of a wrestler's story. An impactful turn can build valuable momentum and ultimately create legendary moments that we still talk about to this day. And the beauty of the heel turn is that it can be done in a variety of different ways. In this video, we take a look at many of the various different ways that a wrestler can turn heel.
What the hell? Oh my God! What the hell?
We start with perhaps the most iconic way to turn heel. Turning on a tag team partner, family member, or friend will always work in wrestling. But when it's done to perfection, it can make fans despise the heel for turning on the babyface. From the classic super kick through the barbershop window to the Festival of Friendship.
Oh my God! No! Kevin Owens beating the hell out of Jericho! What is going on?
All the way back to Zbyszko turning on Bruno. Moments like these are why we love wrestling, but still dislike the heels at the same time.
I'm not playing. I'm gonna rip your head off.
Now, while a wrestler may turn on their partner due to the team losing too many matches, a wrestler might also turn heel due to losing a match of their own. The sore loser turn can come directly after a loss. The frustration of defeat and the heat of the moment can cause one to lash out at their opponent even after the bell. A disrespectful act that takes the shine away from the babyface and puts the heat on the newly turned heel. In the same way a wrestler can become a heel by going against their old tag team partner, they can also turn to the dark side by aligning with an evil group or associate, either to leave their old friends behind or by simply joining a faction or linking up with a heel manager. If you can't beat them, join them is a trope often seen in wrestling, and that's because for the person turning heel, it's usually a pretty effective strategy.
Oh my God!
One match that embodied this philosophy perfectly was Mankind vs. The Rock at Survivor Series 1998. When The Rock joined the corporation, he cemented himself as a heel, but at the same time, Mankind being screwed out of the WWF title by the McMahons ended up turning the hardcore legend face. This is a rare example of the double turn in wrestling. This is often reserved for matches where the excessive brutality from the babyface results in the heel getting sympathy, as each wrestler's role going into the match end up being reversed by the time the match is over.
Crowd's beginning to turn on Alberto Del Rio.
Do you blame him? Look at the way the guy's acting.
I'm not a Dolph Ziggler fan, but
And look at the fight still in Ziggler. From behind!
We touched earlier on Larry Zbyszko's turning on Bruno Sammartino to ignite their feud. As much as this was an example of a student turning on their teacher, it was also a case of a wrestler attacking a popular star to cement their heel turn. This can occur as a result of jealousy or frustration. It can also act as a vehicle for a returning wrestler to make an impact, or simply by just trying to get as much heat as possible.
Stop it, Edge! Damn it!
But oftentimes, wrestling heel turns aren't as clear-cut as that. Storytelling can also be layered. It can keep the fans guessing and make us wonder just what is going to happen next.
Brett screwed Brett.
And this is where the classic swerve or conspiracy heel turn comes in. It can leave us asking, who is it?
It's me, Austin!
oh, son of a bitch!
Who did it?
I did it.
What? Damn it.
I did it for The Rock.
What?
Or simply just, why?
Triple H, the accomplice? Why, Triple H? You son of a bitch! Why? Tell me why!
And a lot of times, we never see it coming.
Oh my God!
A good barometer of telegraphing the future in wrestling does, however, come from the reaction of the crowd. They are the indicators of what works and what doesn't. If something is inorganically forced down their throats, they'll see through it. And this can lead to wrestlers the higher-ups have cast as babyfaces being forced to turn heel due to fan backlash.
We're out here clapping for you, and you want to chant that New Day sucks?
So often this ends up working out for the better, as wrestlers are able to channel the negative energy received from the fans and create an effective heel character, which in turn leads to the fans ultimately cheering them, allowing the wrestler to now be an even greater babyface. And how they get there can start when the wrestler completely buries the fans.
I'm performing for a bunch of ungrateful, undeserving pieces of trash.
This may be because of the boos they initially received, or it can be a way to start off a more traditional heel turn.
I spent my entire career trying to be what you wanted me to be. That ain't got me diddling squat.
The "because of the fans" excuse is something often seen in today's wrestling, but it can be a hit or miss.
I used to put so much stock in your opinion until I realized you're so full of
We
crap.
mentioned how a layered storyline presents an opportunity for a wrestler to turn heel, and this typically occurs during the love triangle storyline, when a love interest comes in the way of two wrestlers. And while we may be left guessing as to who ends up with who, one thing for sure is that heartbreak is always guaranteed.
Oh my God! Jesus Christ. That's a man's wife! That's a man's wife! What the hell are you people thinking here?
Another guarantee in wrestling is that anything can change in an instant. We've touched on the power the fans have in affecting what happens. And despite the fast-paced nature of wrestling, we still need to have some patience sometimes. And that's why a slow-burning heel turn can be just as impactful as a traditional one. A longer build to the turn makes attention to detail more important, allowing fans to invest their time into the story. The best stories in wrestling evoke emotions from the fans, even if we end up booing a wrestler we used to cheer. If it's good storytelling, we'll be happy to join for the ride.
Oh my God! What the hell?
And that brings us to the end of this video. Which heel turn do you prefer the most? And which heel turn in particular is the most memorable for you? Let us know in the comments below. Also, a big aspect to the heel turn is trying to predict when it happens. If you're a big fan of making predictions, check out our video on 10 crazy wrestling predictions that shockingly came true. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.